What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another MLB Showdown breakdown here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this content. I love recording it as much as I love playing MLB Showdown. I think it is a great cash game with also some fun GPP upside with just using hitters in the captain spot, which is something you rarely will see me do unless we have a slate that we really hate the pitchers, which there could be some of those today. But I know today in the Boston game came down to like that Osich decision. If you're going to use the 4K opener, the correct decision was not to. After he gave up the 2-run bomb in the second inning, I didn't even think he was going to come out for the second inning. And then Godley came out later. I don't remember, fourth, fifth inning, didn't do that well either. Didn't pay off $8,400 price tag. So you needed more of a Met stack, but I think that Benintendi at 6,600, which I talked about, I know had a stolen base, had a hit. Bogarts had a bomb. So I think some of the guys that were in my core did really well. Let's jump into our 3 games. We get a Twins game as well. Also, be on the listen for future video content on our channel for some coupon codes that we are going to be dropping throughout the videos. Not necessarily at the beginning or the end or in the middle, just random, just so we encourage you guys to watch and listen to our content that we are putting our time into. And, we always do put our money where our mouth is at. So we are always playing with our subscribers, and we are looking to find those green screens as well. So let's hop into the slate. Now, the first game is going to not have any odds for us here because it's a makeup game with the White Sox and the Indians. If I pronounce some names wrong, don't judge me. I don't really care. But Aaron Savale, I think that's how you pronounce it, is taking the mound for Cleveland against the White Sox and Dylan Cease. Cease almost had, I think, close to a 6 ERA last year. Does have strikeout upside. Like, if he can last 5 innings and give up a couple runs, there's a good chance he probably has, between 5 and 7 strikeouts. He does have strikeout stuff. So he's just kind of wild and then can give up, runs in bunches. Where Savale is obviously going to be projected more as likelier to get a win here. I assume Cleveland would be like -200 at least in this matchup. He is definitely more of a sinker ball cutter, low 90s fastball guy looking for contact. So his upside in strikeouts might be like 4 or 5. And remember, this isn't the same White Sox lineup that, after Omar, I think it was not Navarez, Wellington Castillo, or whoever was playing catcher, at certain times, hitting 5th. And then after that, it was like minor league players, and it was like an easy 4 strikeouts in a row. But I do think that you won't see that 5+ strikeouts out of him, but you definitely could see 6 innings, 1 run, 4 Ks, and a win, which I think would definitely pay off the $1,200, $2,000 price tag. These price tags are getting really aggressive this year for really suboptimal pitching prospects. So I think DK is encouraging us to get away from 2 double pitcher, then just fill in the gaps, because you're still seeing that. I'm seeing that in high stakes cash games where it might be the pitchers flopped for captain and then maybe just a couple hitters flopped, but you're not really seeing anybody going for the hitter captain role or just dropping one pitcher completely. So I would definitely probably in cash use Savale. Cease, I think, is definitely viable. I think there's more risk involved with him, especially when you guys got guys like Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, that are nicely priced. I like Oscar Mercado's price. But I think the best value on the slate, assuming he is going to hit leadoff again, as he did today or yesterday, Cesar Hernandez at 5,400. I think he is going to be the best value on the slate if he is in a similar spot in the lineup. I think Franmil Reyes as well. He is just that home run upside, and I think that's what you want in somebody that's 6K, going to be hitting 5th in the order but has home run upside. If we go down here a little bit cheaper, I think Domingo Santana is also viable. He's probably going to be hitting 7 or 8 if he makes the lineup. Same with Yu Chang. He was in the lineup, I think, recently. Delmon Delmonico hit second yesterday, but before that he was hitting down 8 or 9. So I don't think you're going to see him bounce back up, but I do think you have enough value in Cesar Hernandez, Franmil Reyes, and somebody like Domingo Santana potentially to pay up for your too cheap. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I don't know how I missed him. I didn't miss him, but Carlos Santana, 6,400. Give me all of that. So I think even like these guys, and then you decide if you want Cease and then pay for Jose or Lindor. I mean, you don't even need both of these guys. Probably would lean Carlos Santana or Franmil, but I think both are viable. I mean, if you're fading Cease, you can go a full 5-1 Cleveland stack and then just one off with a White Sox. If you're going to use Cease, then you will not be able to get to guys like Jose Ramirez and Lindor, assuming that you're using Savale in the captain role. So that's kind of my breakdown for this slate. I know if you want to go White Sox stack, that's fine. Luis Robert has stolen base potential. Yan Makata, obviously, and Jose Abreu have home run potential. Just nothing that's really making me that excited. So I'll pass on the White Sox bats for the most part here, besides the one that I'll probably be forced to play, and then I just need to decide if I'm going to use the Cease. So I will move on to the next game here that we do have odds for. The next game is a Twins slate. Finally, I get a Minnesota Twins slate, my favorite team, the Bama squad. But we get our new signing, Homer Bailey, on the mound. That is typical Twins, going out and finding these elite free agent pitchers that turn into nothing. But I do see Kyle Gibson, a former Twin, is also on the mound tomorrow. But Homer Bailey against Carlos Martinez. Twins are a -135 favorite, but look at that over-under, 10.5. 10.5. That is big. So I think we do see runs in this game. Sano being the most expensive player is a little egregious to me. His floor is just too low. I know he's got a ceiling. Carlos Martinez, it says he was dominant in his final tune-up game against the Royals. I just don't know how many innings he's going to pitch. Remember, he was a closer last year. Again, I think we're maybe seeing 4 or 5 innings max here out of someone like him in his first start. So 10,000 again against the Twins is really tough to sell. And then you actually have Homer Bailey priced up. I think he is likely to last longer in the game just because he's kind of like a Iron Man like that. But I don't think either pitcher needs to be used tomorrow. 10.5 total. A pitcher that's probably limited, and then a pitcher who's just not that good and kind of overpriced. So Nelly Cruz, even against a righty, I like him a lot, but I do love me some Max Kepler, who will be leading off against a righty. You have Donaldson, you have Polanco, Garver. You can go the full stack here with the Twins. Arise is a nice value play. Per usual, our values for St. Louis are going to be O'Neill, Bader, if you want to go there, Fowler. As TK talked about, not a big Fowler guy. And then I did see that next game he hit a solo shot. Jake Cave, good chance he could see the lineup as well, would be a nice value at 4,400. But I do think this is a slate you could legitimately just not play at either pitcher and look to stack bats because it's 10.5 total and there's huge bats on the slate. Goldie is viable. I like him more against lefties, but I think, Bailey's not an elite righty, so I think that's fine to go there. Sano will probably be my fade, which that's fine. If he hits bombs, it'll be good for my fandom, but not for DFS. But 10.8 is too expensive for somebody who could go over 5 with 4 strikeouts or 5. All right, on to our last game here. We have the Oakland A's against Colorado. So a big thing here is we have 2 pretty poor pitchers on the mound again. This game would be a lot more fun if it was in Colorado. But we do have Oakland as a -170 favorite actually here. I think it's, again, pronouncing this right, Senzutella, I think, is not somebody that's looking to strike guys out. He is pitching to contact. Rarely, most of the year, at the end of the year, 6.4, 4.5 strikeouts. But normally this guy is just trying to make it through innings. And obviously when you're pitching in Coors, that doesn't help. Mengden, I think, is viable only for the fact that the Rockies strike out so much. But I don't know what his innings is going to look like. He's the 5th starter. He's coming off an injury. He might get a start or two, it's sounding like. I just, before their top prospect gets in town, I don't know. I mean, he's okay with strikeout upside again, just because the Rockies strike out so much, and it's a big ballpark. It's not Coors. But again, another slate that I'm not really that excited for either pitcher. But what I am excited for is somebody like Matt Olsen with the platoon advantage. I love using him in those situations. David Dahl at 8,000 seems too cheap. Obviously, Blackman and Story, I think, and Arenado, somebody you'll probably likely try to get at least one of them in if you're fading both pitchers. Daniel Murphy, 7,000. And then if we go down here, Matt Kemp has been finding his way into the lineup a few times, hitting like in the 5th spot. Then I think he's definitely viable. 4,800 probably would be your best value on the slate. Grossman obviously can find his way into the lineup. Chad Pinder as well. Chris Owings. So we do have some guys that have been finding their way into the lineup that are relatively cheap. But I just, again, you can't feel really good about Mengden coming off an injury, being the 5th starter, probably limited. The only upside I see is the Rockies striking out a lot. But that, you need a good pitcher that goes a while to make that worth it. And then Senzutella just doesn't have a ton of appeal to me. So as a cash player, the slate is not as exciting, as I don't like either pitcher. Even for the Twins one, the same goes. But it'll be curious to see how other high stakes players approach these slates. And I do like to kind of just take notes and try to study those builds, because I do think that in these types of scenarios where there's a lot of pitchers that are limited and they're priced way too high. Like last year, we used to get someone like Mengden here would be priced at like 8,000, and Senzutella would be like 7,800 or maybe just a little bit higher, but not 10.2 and 9.6 for somebody that its upside is 10 points and the downside is 0 or negative, and not even getting out of the second inning. So again, I just think the upside is with the bats here. I think that's the way you go. I think that you can stack both sides. Oakland is favored and they are cheaper. So I love Matt Olsen in the platoon advantage, meaning he is a lefty against a righty. Canna is kind of a pass for me. Chapman is viable. Semion's viable. Laureano is viable. I like him because he gives you that steal and home run upside. Those are the type of players I like targeting, similar to Fernando Tatis Jr. today with the bases clearing triple, which won me a lot of money. So that was fun. But thanks for listening again, guys. Try to tune into this daily. I should have them out daily for all the showdowns. If you want my core plays when the lineup's locked, you hit that subscribe button down at the bottom. You will get into our MLB channel, and it won't be just my core plays. TK and Mega Man, Mega Ruler, FanDuel cores, Draftkings cores for classics and the showdown, the short slates, anything that you want that we can even find a late slate core and early core. So be on the lookout for other recordings for us to drop that 20% off VIP code to give you access to all of our sports for 1 week. Also, be on the lookout for Twitter. We might do some free giveaways. Just make sure you're subscribed to this channel below. Give it a like, give it a comment. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you guys have a good night and win a lot of cash tomorrow on MLB Showdown. Later.